Alright guys, check it out. Brother Maynard here with another game for you. This is a 4,000 point game, my Beastmen versus some Warriors of Chaos. Okay, so the left side of my deployment zone as usual, I got 5 Centaurs, a Razor, 6 Minotaurs full command with a Gorbel, Tuskor Chariot, 6 Raiders with a Musician. And then I got my Gore Horde, and that's got my Battle Standard Bearer and my level 4 in there. And then I got my Herdstone with my 3 level 1 Shamans, 2 Shadow, 1 Beast as usual. In front of the Herdstone I have a Doom Bull, and in front of him I got a Razor, and then a horde of Bestigors. They got the Standard of Discipline, and my Beast Lord's in there, so I have Leadership 10, so I'm giving that a try. And then in front there I have 2 units of 6 Raiders with Musician. You might think the Musician's wasted on a unit that gets free reforms, but I figure if I'm going to be using them to redirect, I might be fleeing some charges, and +1 to rally might actually come in handy, so I'll just give that a try. And then I got a 40 Ungors of full command, another unit of 6 Raiders, and then a Tuskor Chariot all the way on the right. Alright, so he's got 5 Marauder Cavalry. He's got the Mark of Khorne and Flails on all his units of Marauder Cavalry. So, and then he's got a nasty unit of Chosen. They got the Terror Banner and the Eye of the Gods, or the Favor of the Gods, or whatever it is. So they start the game with the 4-up Ward and Stubborn, and then he's got a War Shrine behind them, another unit of 5 Marauder Cav, his Hell Cannon, and then he's got a horde of Warriors with the Mark of Tzeentch and Hand Weapon Shield, and he's got Sigvald, his level 2 Tzeentch Sorcerer, and his Battle Standard Bearer, so that unit's just hard as nails. A War Shrine behind that, and then he's got 45 Marauders with Great Weapons Mark of Khorne. That's where his level 4 Sorcerer is. He's got the Lord Shadow, another unit of Marauder Cav, and then in the trees there he's got it's another unit of Chosen. They got the Mark of Nurgle and the Frenzy Banner. I actually didn't know that they were frenzied at the beginning of the game, otherwise I would have put some Raiders over here to mess with them. But anyway, yeah, and they got halberds too, so strength 5, so they're just another heinous unit. And then he's got 5 more Marauder Cav. So he rolls up the first turn, so with his Vanguards he can't charge, so he just Vanguards and throws his Marauder Cavalry and just moves them up, throws them in my face. He's using them pretty aggressively, so and everybody else just kind of moves up like so. Same thing over here. I'm not sure what his plan is for the Marauder Cavalry, but he is being pretty aggressive with them, like I said. And then he's bringing his Chosen unit over. Festus, I forgot to mention, Festus is also in there, and he gives that unit poison attacks. So they got the Mark of Khorne and additional hand weapons and poison attacks. So they're just disgusting. It's a disgusting unit. And then over here he moves his Marauders out of the Chariot's charge arc and just kind of reforms like that. So he's gonna give me a headache. So that's nice. And then his Magic Phase didn't do a whole heck of a lot. I don't think he got anything through, but I did have to burn my Dispel Scroll. So yeah, it's not good, and it's not really bad either. And then his Shooting Phase, his Hell Cannon gets a shot on the Bestigors and kills a bunch of them. Okay, so in my turn, I just go ahead and charge the Centaurs and the Razor into the Marauder Cavalry. And then I just move the Chariot up. I'm hoping to just get a charge on the Chosen maybe and just kill a couple of them before we start fighting. And everybody else just really moves up. I got that unit of Raiders running out there. They're running out there to redirect that Khorne Marauder horde away from the combat that I'm predicting will happen with Sigvald's unit. And then here you can see my Razor charged the Marauder Cavalry, and I basically did that to get him out of the way so the Doom Bull could charge the unit on the right. And I'm hoping my Doom Bull will just kill them off, overrun a couple of inches, and hopefully he'll be able to squeak in between Sigvald's unit and the Chosen to run up there and kill the Hell Cannon. So that's my plan there. And Hell Cannons are nasty, but if anything I have can rip it apart, it'll be my Doom Bull. So. And then over here I'm sending both these units of Raiders up to just mess with that that other unit of Chosen. That unit is gross. I'm not going to find it if I don't have to, so. And actually, I don't have a plan for my Chariot yet, so I don't want him to die though, so I just move him. And then you get to roll for ambush on the first turn. So these guys were nice enough to show up, and all his war shrines, I didn't mention it, but they all have the Mark of Tzeentch, so they have 3-up ward and toughness 6, so they're impossible to kill. So I'm hoping that if he doesn't turn something around to come fight these Gors, I'll just be able to charge his war shrine in the rear and hopefully just break it and run it down and get rid of it that way. Magic phase was pretty uneventful. I managed to get a big Amber Spear off on his Hell Cannon, but I only did 1 wound, which kind of sucks because that was my best chance to kill that thing before it does any serious damage. And then over here I cast the Curse of Enrayar on the Marauder Horde, but he ended up stopping it. My opponent told me that Sigvald and his unit were immune to dangerous terrain, and so I didn't bother casting it on them, but I did look up the rule after the game, and it turns out that Sigvald and his unit, they just treat all dangerous terrain as open ground, and in that case open ground would be causing them to take the death. So in hindsight I should have cast it on Sigvald's unit. Anyway, so that takes us to combat, and my Senegors and the Razorgore easily kill the Marauder Cavalry. And then over here, his Marauder Horsemen kill the Razorgore in 1 go, and then my Doom Bull annihilates that unit and overruns a couple of inches. So yeah, it looks like he's got a pretty nice clear path to that Hell Cannon. Alright, so in his turn he charges the Razorgore, and with this Chosen, this is the Nurgle Chosen over on the left, and he charges the Razorgore in it, and I flee the charge. I'm hoping to, slow him down a little bit, but he redirects into the Chariot, and he needs something really high to get it, but he makes it. So it's not good, but it's not too terrible either. Okay, and so I didn't take a picture of the movement phase over what he did over here for some reason, so I'm just put this one back up, and you can use it as reference. He turns the Marauder Horde around to go deal with my Gore unit. Sigvald moves up into the tree line, and his Marauder Cavalry charge the Bestigors, and then his other unit of Chosen, they just move up a little bit. His magic phase, he rolls up 12 dice, and I managed to stop everything except the 1 spell that counts. He gets Pandemonium through, and yeah, that's pretty much the worst position for a Beastmen player to be in, is not being able to use your character's leadership and about to take a bunch of panic tests. So with that said, he drops the Hell Cannon, gets a direct hit on my Gore unit, and we didn't even resolve the damage right away. I just straight up picked up the dice to take the panic test that was going to decide the rest of the game. So yeah, so with no character leadership and -1 from the Hell Cannon, I needed a 6 with a reroll to pass. So I'm sweating bullets. I pick up the dice, and yeah, that really just happened. That unit panics. They panic off the board. They take my my Battle Standard Bearer and my level 4, and just to add insult to injury, one of my level 1s panics and runs off the table too. So absolutely devastating blow. Now I have no Battle Standard Bearer. I just lost one of my strongest combat units, and I can't stop his level 4. So yeah, that hurt. One of the guys watching the game very appropriately commented that I was on life support at this point. So yeah, that's rough. Okay, so in combat, his chosen unit easily kills the chariot, and they don't quite reach the Minotaurs, and this picture was actually taken at my turn. So I bring the Centaurs around, charge the Minotaurs into the Chosen, and then you can see up top I reformed the Gore unit into Horde formation, because I know if I can pass my Primal Fury test, that the 30 Gores will be able to beat 40 Khorne Marauders with great weapons. In about 2 rounds of combat, but that's if I pass Primal Fury, so I'm really hoping for that. And here I'm just setting up the Ungor Raiders to just mess with this unit and keep it out of the game. I haven't found a use for my Ungors yet, so they haven't. I don't think I've moved them at all the entire game. I think I might have moved them up a little bit. And then you can see over on the left there, the Bestigors ended up just obviously massacring that unit of horsemen who charged them, and then they were cut off by the raiders that were in front. So I had to charge both units into Sigvald, and then my Doom Bull, I ended up throwing him into the flank as well. I figured that my Bestigors and my Minotaurs are in combat, and my Gore unit is gone, so I really don't care anymore if the Hell Cannon shoots, because yeah, the damage is done, so I just sent him into the flank there. And then over here, I think in the last turn the Marauder Cav tried to charge the Ungors, but they failed, so they're just kind of hanging out here. And then I still have no idea what to do with my chariot. I don't want to just throw him away on those Chosen, but I don't want to go chasing Marauder Cav either, so I don't know what I'm doing with him. He's just kind of lost in the snow. Okay, up here, you can see this. I think this is in his turn, or whatever. Anyway, you can see that I've killed a pretty good amount of warriors. I'm taking quite the toll on them. Bestigors are doing good as usual. Doom Bull's a beast, but Sigvald's a stubborn leadership 10. So as long as he's got a battle standard and Sigvald alive, that unit ain't going anywhere. So yeah, that's not good. Alright, so in this combat, these two units are just tearing each other apart. This is actually a pretty cool combat. Yeah, I think my Minotaurs ended up winning the combat, and to take advantage of the extra attacks they're getting, I just reform them as wide as possible. So yeah, and I think at this point I notice, this is kind of a faint glimmer of hope that I might be able to claw my way back to a win, is if my Minotaurs can take down these Chosen and reform, I can send them into the main combat. Same thing with the Gores. If I can beat the Marauders, I can send them into the rear, and actually if I can keep the other unit of Chosen out of the fight, I actually might have a chance of winning this. So